Hi guys, FPL Posty here with another brand new YouTube video on my channel. Just another quick upload to a little bit like yesterday's video, to be honest with you. Just a thinking out loud video, tinkering with my team and going through what's in my head at the moment. If we have a look at my team, yesterday we changed it from a 4-4-2 formation to a 3-4-3 formation. Putting Ben Mee on the bench, as we predicted his points would probably be between 2 to 4 points in this double game week with 2 tricky away games, and bringing in single game week Haaland. As I said in yesterday's video, ignore the flagged on Haaland and Rashford. I'm pretty sure, even though it says they're carrying knocks, I'm pretty sure it's just to get them out of international duty so they can concentrate on their club duties. And also ignore Martinelli in midfield as well. We discussed yesterday that I'm going to transfer him out, most probably for Bruno Fernandes. I believe he came through last night's Portugal international win against Liechtenstein injury-free. So that's great news. So yeah, we'll be rolling with a 3-4-3 formation at the moment. Now, captaincy-wise, I had a look at this last night, and I think I'm going to be a bit maverick, like I said, and I'm going to put the captain's armband on Erling Haaland, purely because, obviously, he's only got a single game week. Now, it's sort of an unwritten rule in FPL that on double game weeks, you have to captain a double game weeker to maximise points potential, and I completely agree with that sentiment 100%. However, there is none of my double game week players that scream amazing fixtures. Chilwell does, with 2 games at home against Aston Villa and Liverpool. But will he play in both? Will Potter play 5-3-2 in both? Plus, he's a defender, so his point ceiling, although Chilwell gets a lot of assists and he's on some corners, his point ceiling is fairly low. Looking at the others, I mean, I could go with either Bruno Fernandes or Rashford. Newcastle away will be tricky for Man United. Newcastle are very, very strong defensively at home. Brentford at home should be a good game for Man United for him to pick up some points. But again, Matoma as well is another option. He's not a penalty taker for Brighton, although he is one of their main attacking outlets. And they've got really good fixtures with Brentford at home and Bournemouth away. Do I want to captain him? No, probably not. Ivan Toney is another one. Yes, he's on penalties, but he's got 2 tricky away games. And the same with Ollie Watkins. So even though I've got a raft of really good double game week assets, there's none that really stick out as captaincy other than our boy Erling Haaland. Now, Liverpool is a tricky opponent, but they have been massively inconsistent this season. They have flip-flopped from fixture to fixture. 1 week they're battering Man United 7-0. The next they're losing to Bournemouth 1-0. You just never know what kind of Liverpool is going to turn up. Now, with Haaland pulling out of international duty with Norway, he is going to be primed and ready to go at Jurgen Klopp's boys. So picking him as a captain, obviously he's a penalty taker as well. I honestly think he will at least score once, maybe even 2-3 times against Liverpool. I think they're going to really go at the Reds, to be honest with you. So that's why I picked him as captain. Because looking at my team, I think there's a really good chance that all players, apart from possibly Mings and Raya, will get double digits. We touched on this yesterday. Obviously, the likes of Toney and Watkins are penalty takers at the moment for their teams. They've got difficult fixtures, but they are both the major attacking talisman of those clubs. Ignore Martinelli. As I've said before, he's Bruno Fernandes. So he's got Newcastle away and Brentford at home, and he's a penalty taker as well. Then you've got Matoma, really good fixtures. And he's one of Brighton's most attacking players with the most touches in the box at this moment in time. Rashford, as I've said just a minute ago, has got really good fixtures. He's in red-hot form and has pulled out of international duty. So just like Haaland, he will be primed, fresh and ready to go. Maddison, decent fixtures. Crystal Palace away, not playing well at the moment. And Aston Villa at home. Leicester always look like they're going to score. And normally when they do, he's got something to do with it, either as an assist or from a corner or set piece, because he's their man for those. So all of those 7 players all have a chance of getting double digits. Now, Haaland, obviously, if he scores just the 1 goal, will only be on single digits. But if you whack the captain's armband on him, he too then becomes a prime person for getting double digits as well. So if all 7 of those players haul double digits, there's 70 odd points, and we've not even included the defence and the goalkeeper yet. So that's my way of thinking at the moment. Now in defence, I'm a big fan of Kieran Trippier. Man U at home and West Ham away, not the greatest of fixtures to be fair, but as I mentioned in my last video, Newcastle, they've built up St James's Park like a fortress this season. They do not concede many goals at home up in the north. So, plus obviously he's on corners and free kicks as well. So he's a big an assist merchant. And plus, he normally always gets bonus points for Newcastle. He's a bonus points machine, is Trippier. Chilwell is the same. Again, as I touched on a few minutes ago, if Potter plays him and he plays him in a 5-3-2 formation, then Chilwell, as long as he stays fit and on the bench because he is and on the pitch because he is injury prone, I'm hoping he will get at least 1 assist this game week. Both games at home against Villa and Liverpool. Surely he will return. And then the other 2 who I don't think will probably get double digits this week are Tyrone Mings, who has 2 tricky away games against Chelsea and Leicester, and Raya, who has Brighton and Hove Albion away and Man United away. I can't see Brentford keeping a clean sheet in any of them games, so I'm hoping that Raya gets bonus points. So that's my way of looking at my team at the moment. Obviously, there's a long way to go until the deadline. It's not till the 1st of April, so plenty of time for me to keep swapping and changing and tinkering around. Obviously, I've got fantastic options waiting in the wings on the bench in Saka and Gabriel. So, yeah, that's how I'm looking at the moment. I just wanted to quickly show you the up-to-date points. These are the top point scorers in FPL at the moment. Obviously, you can't pick this team because there's 5 Arsenal players, but I just wanted to give you a quick graphic as to how the top scoring players in all the positions are looking. Obviously, Haaland is leading the way at the moment with a magnificent 203 points. I mean, there is a real good chance he could get 300 plus points this season, definitely. Harry Kane, big up Harry Kane, England's top goal scorer with 54 goals. I have to mention that after last night's game. He's on 182 points. Then it's Rashford on 156. Martinelli's on 157. Big surprise for me here is Mo Salah. Everyone said Mo has had a really quiet season. Liverpool haven't been great. But he's only 2 points behind Rashford and 3 behind Martinelli. So he's slowly been churning away. He is still a really good FPL asset. So don't count out Mo Salah in this. Saka has obviously blown everyone away. He's been magnificent for Arsenal this season on 170 points. And then you've got Odegaard, another Arsenal boy, on 153 points. In defence, my boy Trippier. He, for me, is the new Trent Alexander-Arnold. It used to be that everyone used to have to get Trent in their team for their FPL club. For me personally, Trippier is the boy now. He's always nailed on for bonus points if Newcastle keep a clean sheet. So he's on 154. Then it's 2 more Arsenal lads in Gabriel and White, 124 and 121 points. And then as I mentioned in yesterday's video, top FPL point scorer in goal is Raya. That will change, I think, though, because Alisson is on 119 points for Liverpool. Off the top of my head, I think it's Pope on 111. Sarr is on 111. And I can't remember which goalkeeper. There's another goalkeeper as well who's on 117. Slipped my mind now who it is. I also wanted to show you this. You must have heard of this guy, the amazing Ben Crellin. He's the oracle of FPL fixtures. He is your boy if you are looking to plan ahead and look at what are the likely outcomes for double game weeks. Well, he's put up a table that's going around on social media at the moment. This is showing you the predicted places where double game weeks could happen. Now, I said in my last video, there's a couple of teams that have got double game weeks coming up. Brighton and Hove Albion have got to shoehorn another 3 Premier League fixtures into this season somehow. I think Newcastle have got 2. I believe Man City and Man United have got 2. So yesterday when I was looking at my team, I was looking at seeing if I could sort of shoehorn a few Brighton players in maybe. So as we can see from the graphic here, we've got game week 29, which is coming up soon with all the doubles that we're obviously planning for at the moment. Game week 30, I'm going to touch on my team in just a moment, but they're all single game week fixtures. Then in game week 31, there's a possible double for Brighton. Now, as I've just said, they have got to get in as many fixtures as possible by the end of the season. They're still in the FA Cup, so it's going to be a real fixture pile-up for De Zerbi's boys. But there's a possibility that they could face Chelsea and Newcastle in game week 31. So as you can see there, Brighton may double. And then there at the bottom, Newcastle, obviously, again, they may double. Now, in my team at the moment, I've only got Trippier and Mitoma as those assets. So could there be a possibility in those 2 game weeks for me to bring back in the likes of a Stupinan and the likes of McAllister, possibly? Game week 32, there is a couple of blanks there. Obviously, that's the ones where they're in the FA Cup that we know about. Manchester City, Man United, Chelsea and Brighton. Game week 33 at the moment is all single game weeks. Now, this is where it gets tricky, and this is where hopefully in this international break that we're having, we will hopefully get some information from from the Premier League that there will be double fixtures in 34 and 37. Now, if you've still got chips left, especially your free hit, this could be the game weeks where you play it. So again, this is all Ben Crellin just saying where, you know, possible and likely doubles may go. This is not concrete, but Ben Crellin is not often wrong with this information. So as we can see here, in game week 34, Brighton could have Wolves, Man United or Manchester City in that period. Chelsea could have Arsenal and Man United. Fulham could have Manchester City and Liverpool. Liverpool could have Tottenham and Fulham. Man City and Man United will most probably double in this week, if I'm being honest with you. Fulham, West Ham or Brighton, or Aston Villa, Brighton or Chelsea. And then right at the bottom there is West Ham United. Remember them? What a poor season they're having. They will have Crystal Palace or Manchester City. So game week 34 is looking intriguing. Keep an eye on that. It could be a really good place to use your free hit card. Then in 35 and 36, there's possible doubles for, guess who? Brighton and Hove Albion and possibly Newcastle. And then game week 37, it's the same old clubs again. Brighton could have Southampton, Man City or Man United. Chelsea could have Manchester City and Man United. Fulham could well likely have Crystal Palace and Liverpool. And another team that will most likely double in 37 for sure is Liverpool. And they will have Aston Villa and Fulham at home. So straight away, loading up on Liverpool assets could be the way in game week 37. What a great way to end your season if they hit form right at the end. And then finally, we have got Manchester City and Man United, who may double up as well and in game week 37. And the last one at the bottom there is West Ham. So of all of those teams, I mean, you're not going to be looking at West Ham assets. They've had a dreadful season. No one's looking at their double game weeks at all. But in the likes of Liverpool, especially in game week 37, you might want to look at bringing in some assets there. And like I say, Brighton, they are playing some amazing attacking football at the moment. They are like prime Netherlands when they get in their stride. You may want to, obviously they've got that blank in 32. So what you may want to do is slowly bring in Brighton assets into your team. Look at benching them possibly in 32. So if you bring in a Stupinan, McAllister because he's on penalties, and Mitoma, you could bench them in 32, play all your other teams, all your other assets, bring them back into your team for Nottingham Forest, which will be a great fixture for them. And then in game week 34, they will most probably double. And then they will most probably have a double in either 35 or 36. And then they will have definitely another double in 37. So load up on those Brighton players because 34 to 37, they're going to be having about 5 or 7 games, okay? Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about on this video was my team's fixtures, not for the upcoming game week 29, but how we will be looking for the week after in game week 30. Now, as we go on to game week 30 here. So, as I've said, I'll be using my one transfer this week to bring in Bruno Fernandes at the expense of Martinelli. So, he will play the double game week. Now, in game week 30, Bruno and Rashford, who are in my team, will have Everton at home. What a fantastic fixture. I've also got Tyrone Mings and Ollie Watkins in my team, and they are at home against Nottingham Forest. So 4 players already have really good fixtures. Now, throw into that mix James Maddison if he's not injured or suspended, because James Maddison is currently on 8 yellow cards. So if he picks up a couple of yellow cards, he could well be suspended. It's not a major worry. It's not like Ivan Toney, who's got just one yellow card hanging over his head. But it is on the radar that Maddison is one of those players that is on 8 yellows. Well, he's got Bournemouth at home. So another good fixture. Scrolling down, Erling Haaland is away from home, but he's against Southampton. Now, he could mess them up. Southampton have not been great at all this season. And I could see him hitting them big. So that's 2 from Man U, 2 from Villa, 1 from Leicester, 1 from... So already 6 players in my team have really, really decent fixtures. Now, my keepers are Ward of Leicester and Raya of Brentford. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, Ward has lost his place between the sticks at the King Power Stadium. It's all about Everson now. So I will have Raya in goal against Newcastle. Now, Newcastle obviously having a great season, but Brentford at home are really, really strong. And as I mentioned before, it's not about clean sheets with Raya. It's about picking up those elusive bonus points, okay, and those save points. So... the other players in my team, obviously I've got Ben Mee, who most probably will be on the bench. In fact, by this time, he may well be one of my Brighton transfers. I'm eyeing up possibly taking out Ben Mee and bringing back in a Stupinan, getting ready for those big Brighton and Hove Albion double game weeks. Speaking of Brighton, they've got a tough one away against Tottenham Hotspur. So Mitoma at the moment is the only Brighton player I've got in my team. So that's not the best fixture for him. Ben Chilwell is away at Wolves. Again, if he keeps his place in the Chelsea team and Potterball is playing 5-3-2, then quite possibly Wolves, who are not having a good season, they could struggle against Chelsea there. Arsenal, my Arsenal assets have got a tough one away against Liverpool. So Saka and Gabriel will face them. And obviously Trippier is another one of my assets. He's away against Brentford. So about 6 or 7 of my current squad will have really, really good fixtures going into game week 30, and a few I'm going to have to tinker around with, but it's not a bad fixture list, to be honest with you. Exiting out of a double game week from 29 into 30, you don't want to come out of a double game week buzzing that all your players have got doubles, but then all of a sudden they drop into game week 30 and they've got tough fixtures. So exiting from a double game week into a single game week with decent fixtures still on the go is a really good strategy. And I'm really pleased that at least 7 of my team have got good fixtures going into game week 30. So I'll end the video there. Thanks so much for listening to me waffle on. In my last video, I forgot to say the key YouTube quote. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. We've only just started up, so it'd be great to get more subscribers on board. More subscribers means more videos. Take care now. Thank you.